Draft your LCS team and earn money. Alpha Draft.
There, IG looked just really comfortable with everything that was going on, and we talked about it. Energy Pacemaker with their sub players here never really did any other pressure. They had a good comp setup for it. It seemed like they had all the tools to do it, but they just never hit the next button.
And it was one of those situations where I kind of expected them to be on the back foot, whenever you have substitutes playing, especially mid-jungle, where a lot of the game flow is around the mid-jungle area. You'd expect maybe them to play on the back foot and say maybe Kakao to overpower them. That would have been expected. Instead, we got kind of the opposite, where they went for the most assertive 3-minute move ever, and then kind of fell away.
Yeah, so we'll see if Energy Pacemaker can be a little more decisive perhaps in this next game here. IG are up 1-0. They're on the blue side here for this next game. Energy Pacemaker, of course, over on the red side. Azir and Na, the first bans there for IG. And Energy Pacemaker have banned away Rek'Sai and Lissandra.
Despite showing all that power on the Azir pick, they're happy to first ban it here. They're not looking to first pick Azir. He still is vulnerable to the Kassadins and Assassins of the world. Instead, they're going to ban it away and go for something different.
Yep, Sivir the next ban as well there for Invictus Gaming, so deciding they don't want to play against that particular champion. Again, that's a pretty common trend from last weekend in the LPL. And of course, one more ban left here for Energy Pacemaker, and it will be Janna as their final ban.
And you'd have to expect that the Jarvan is going to be picked up here. The most decisive jungler. Kakao played excellently on it in the first game. They're happy to take it first rotation.
Yeah, really quick picks actually. Quick J4 pick there for IG. Thresh and Lee Sin already done there for Energy Pacemaker as well.
It's interesting, Drizzle's Lee Sin, he didn't really have much of an early game impact, which of course is what we traditionally associate with a strong Lee Sin pick. Maybe that's just one of his comfort champions. Again, he's one of the substitute players here. We know a little bit less about him. The Thresh pickup I like, just because a decisive Thresh pickup just means initiate potentials between Drizzle and Zhu. There's potential there.
Yeah, and I feel like Drizzle looked quite comfortable as we actually have more picks. Morgana Corki looks like it might be the bottom lane now for Invictus Gaming, although we have seen Morgana go other places in China.
Absolutely. The top Morgana is the flavorful thing we've been seeing. Just to go up there and push in all day, maxing that tormented soil, it's probably going to be the support Morgana, just because, having the Black Shield available negates some of Thresh's initiation potential. But we never write it off in China when it comes to those Morgana flex picks.
No, it might even be a decent bait if Maokai gets picked up here by EP, but we'll see. It's a very tentative flex pick there for IG, but probably going into support. And looks like EP are going to pick their next two champions. It's Ezreal and the Maokai.
And Maokai finally picked away from Pokemon. It's kind of been his signature champion so far when we've seen him in the LPL. He's been picking that up, getting tanky and coming into fights and initiate. He's been picked away here. There's a lot of potential answers. Of course, it could still be the flex pick Morgana top, the flex pick Jarvan top. There's a lot of flavors, but Aurelia's being hovered over here. More traditional solo lanes being mulled over for Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, and I think if I have this right, Pokemon's played Rumble as his only other champion and played Maokai every other game. He's played a bevy of Maokai games already. And IG now going to consider their last few picks here. I like what's going on the EP side. We haven't seen that much Ezreal actually in the LPL so far, despite being a champion that's almost the mascot of China in a lot of ways. But Fizz and Aurelia are Invictus Gaming's final two picks.
Wei Zhao retires and Ezreal kind of dies off with him. It's very sad. It's signature champion of the 80 carries of China for sure. But the Aurelia Fizz, you thought that the Azir pick by Rookie was scary. He's looked really clinical on Fizz.
Yeah, it just looks absolutely amazing. Here is Lulu. This is the last pick now for Energy Pacemaker, and I guess that's Lulu mid.
Yeah, it's looking like the Lulu mid here. Going to be able to happily clear waves, but you feel like if Rookie and Kakao ever get on top of Raphael there, the sub mid laner, the snowball could be scary.
And I already know that you know what I want to say about this Lulu pick here with the rest of this draft. What's the one thing that the comp might be lacking here for EP? It's damage.
Yeah, Lulu, there was once a time when those ratios were a little bit higher, when items were a bit stronger, especially Lich Bane. Lich Bane was nerfed. That was a core tenet of that burst coming out from the mid-game Lulu. Late-game Lulu damage kind of falls away.
Yeah, just not what it used to be. And we almost see these sort of comps with big utility mid laner when a hyper carry maybe wants to get babysitted even more and really do the 4 protect 1-star comp. We haven't really seen that much of, at least in this season and the last one as well. That's a very old school style of playing. But Ezreal's not quite the late game carry that you'd expect. And this is a very kind of a wonky composition from EP.
Kane does sometimes throw in some of those non-meta picks. We saw him on his Draven famously a couple of seasons ago. He's the veteran of that team. He's been with the organization a very, very long time. Maybe they're just looking for him to really carry here. It could just be a full DPS Ezreal, you know, maybe Trinity Force into Infinity Edge, stay away from that blue Ezreal that's been a bit more common. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and again with Energy Pacemaker, they've done a lot of interesting moves. They've had some picks go away, but you know what? We're going to find out soon, guys. A quick break as we cut away, and we'll be back with Game 2 in a second. Alrighty, we are onto the rift here for Game 2 between Invictus Gaming and Energy Pacemaker. IG on the blue side now, a game up here, and EP over on the right there, red side here. After a bit of a false start from Energy Pacemaker in their first game, we'll see what they can get done here in game number 2.
And I expect IG to really follow the same trends in this game. It's interesting to think about, and I had to do a bit of a double take, but I expect Rookie to play this Fizz just like he played Azir. Get that very early Zhonya's, probably after a Lich Bane, initiate for his team, and then Zhonya's. And having that initiation potential from the mid lane to complement Kakal's bevy of CC from the jungle, going to be a similar flavor here. It's going to be on EP to really throw up a change up here. You look down the lineup, it's only really Ezreal who's going to be building for damage here. So a lot relying on him, but they're going in.
Yeah, EP actually getting aggressive. We'll change things up here at level 1 as Drizzle leading the charge in with Shu's Thresh. We'll maybe try and get some wards down here. No real aggression here on buffs. Just a couple of wards being placed out. But nicely, Energy Pacemaker mixing it up a little at level 1. I guess mixing it up again.
Yeah, mixing it up again. Trying to get that early aggressive vision here. It'll be interesting to see if they opt into a lane swap once again, or whether we see standard laning matchups. Of course, the lane swap, I imagine, was largely to do about the early level 1 dragon they did in the first game. We see Raphael just kind of chilling out in mid lane.
Yep, hanging there as Lulu with his Doran's Ring. Rookie there will start in his lane with a Crystalline Flask, and it seems like we'll break it into standard lanes here with both junglers again starting on the same side of the jungle. Kakao seems to like mirroring Drizzle's Lee Sin a bit here. It's blue there for Kakao and red over for Drizzle. So
we'll see if the jungle follow continues, but we still see the top laners are both towards that top lane, so we should see standard lane matchups prevail this time.
Yep, Drizzle, they're going to clear out his Krugs. We'll move in towards his red buff now. Kakao will do the same over on the Grump into blue side. Krugs do get taken out by IG though, so that's going to give them a nice big advantage. Look at Kid, almost level 2 already.
Right, they've only missed one melee creep here, which is pretty much the ideal if you're going to pick up those Krugs at level 1. You see level 2 already picked up on Kid, so he must have taken most of the experience here. Not going to have access to that Dark Binding yet as Kiddies, but already on the back foot is this Ezreal who really needs to put his carry pants on this game.
Yeah, some nice poke there from Kane. Actually will do a little bit of damage early on there to Kid. But Pokemon up in towards the top lane now. Gonna farm up, and this is actually, I think, the first time he's ever played Aurelia, so it'll be interesting to see what the change here, especially against Maokai, a champion he's been very well known for so far.
Absolutely, it's probably going to be the standard tanky matchup up top, although the one thing you can say is Maokai's love to build that early Catalyst into either Righteous Glory or the Rod of Ages, so they stack that flat health. That's actually one of the best resources to itemize for against Aurelia, just because, of course, she does those true damage on trades. She really does that a lot of damage in an extended fight. Health, the most valuable resource there.
Yep. So as we see down the bottom, Kid off to a nice start here on his Corki. We saw Kane's Corki in the last game looking really nice in that lane. Kane led CS the entire way through that. Well, kind of an odd 2v1 swap around as well. But
he led CS and then didn't really translate it into the mid-game Corki that we're always looking for when we see the Corki pick come out. It was a much more passive play. As we see Raphael, look, he's taking advantage of that melee versus ranged matchup in mid. You just know this matchup's going to warp the moment Kakao gets interested or level 6 is hit on Rookie.
Yeah, but not to take away from the power. Lulu can definitely be quite annoying here, but Rookie will be just fine. He's CSing beautifully under his turret as Kid and Kiddies will now push into the bottom lane and start getting some of that poke and pressure down as well. So things starting off again kind of quietly. No early dragon this time for Energy Pacemaker, and Drizzle going to take away his blue if they're kind of late there on that one.
It's one of those things where you look at the lane matchups and they're fine for EP. They're very competitive. There's no counter matchups coming here or anything like that. It's just, you know, as you were mentioning in the pregame, you think about the team fights. You think about where the damage sources are for each team. Aurelia, I mean, we've seen whether it was Flame or Acorn, a lot of Flandre playing fantastic carry Aurelia's up the top lane. There, you know, getting that Trinity Force, then transitioning into the more tanky side. Even Kakao has the option to go damage from the jungle. Probably not going to see it. Probably going to see just a warrior enchantment into tanky, but he could go that route. I mean, Rookie's going to blow people up, whatever happens, and Corki's always damage relevant. But you look down the EP side here, it's really only Ezreal. I mean, Lulu in the mid game will be okay. It'll be respectable damage. She certainly has fantastic laning strength and a poke and wave clear, but not really the single target burst from any of the members of IG here, so it's all about Ezreal.
Yeah, I think maybe even a chance here for Pokemon to step up as well. He's playing more of a carry-style champion, Aurelia a strong bruiser, so we could see more of him than we have in the previous games as well, as Drizzle going to make his way up towards the top side of the map. Now try and gank out this Aurelia. Amazing J does have great CC, of course, on that Maokai, but Aurelia has sniffed it out and seems like she'll be safe.
Yeah, the minions are actually pushing onto the back wave here, so it's probably not going to be an opening for Drizzle here. He backs away, and he just hasn't got it going in the early game, apart from that early dragon pickup.
And I feel like when we look at these two team comps, there's a lot of mid-game strength actually on both of them. Now, IG kind of a bit more spread out as far as their threats go here, and EP very all-in-ish on this particular Ezreal as well. But I feel like if we're just gearing up to one big mid-game fight, that with the way IG have been playing, that must favor them at around 10-15 minutes, potentially contesting for that first dragon.
I mean, the junglers are the big unknown here, just because you've got a lot of pushing coming out of bottom lane. Of course, Ezreal doesn't have any AoE wave clear before 6, so they're going to push in down bot, have the safeness that the Black Shield provides. And Lulu, you'd expect to push in a rookie in the mid lane, so you have to think it's going to be which of the junglers can capitalize on those pushed lanes and abuse that vision advantage the teams will have in different areas of the map.
Well, we're going to see Drizzle in the mid lane now, hanging out on the left-hand side of the lane. Rookie actually goes in, that going to cue Drizzle to go through. Good smite there, coming in a nice polymorph as well. And now Drizzle will force Rookie to flash, does land the Q, goes immediately in, and that's first blood to Lulu.
And the sub-duo come up big there, holding on to the Q for so long was Lee Sin. Hitting that ability, that prompted the flash from Raphael. A nice little early snowball coming up from EP. This time it's a kill, last time it was a dragon. But what can they do from here?
Yeah, really nice. The shoot does get locked up by a Dark Binding there in the bottom lane. Poke one in towards the top. Nice trade there with Amazing J, getting aggressive on that Maokai, but a little low on mana now for Aurelia, so probably has to ease up on some of that. Looks like she's run out of Crystalline Flask charges as well, so might have to go back home and get that charge back up. But a 10 CS lead also early on for Pokemon. Lane's going nicely for IG as well.
Yeah, you're going to expect a small CS advantage for Corki in the bottom lane, just because, again, Ezreal just struggles to get all those last hits with no AoE wave clear whatsoever. He's going to be consistently pushed in here. And Cacao, for once, a bit of a subdued start from that jungler.
Yeah, not nearly as aggressive as we've seen it early on. It's nice to see Drizzle mixing it up from the first game as well and trying to get more aggressive in the early stages. Rookie now going to totter on over. I think he wanted the blue buff, but it's not quite there yet. Cacao is not quite sure. Maybe mistimed that slightly, but Rookie now going to rotate in. Cacao actually looking for the top lane now.
Now, there was actually a very good ward coming down at the Gromp for Invictus Gaming there, so it was spotted out by EP. They're able to back away. Could have been a potential 4-man gank on that Maokai, but the tree's going to saunter home and come back another day.
Yeah, Catalyst done there for Amazing J. Boots as well, so building up towards that Rod of Ages that we saw on Pokemon's Maokai in the last game here. Aurelia going to push that wave in and probably go home herself, and we'll see what she wants to go with, probably going in for an early Trinity Force. Cacao now going to start up his blue buff as well, and Rookie will happily take that away.
And I'm really waiting for the first item purchase coming out of Kane right here. He's backing now, 61 CS, so he has a lot of options. Very clearly now going to be going for that Mana Moon Mirror Mana first, which is what we see on both flavors of Ezreal. Doesn't necessarily pigeonhole him to be the blue Ezreal that we've seen quite commonly in competitive play right now. But it does suggest to me that that lane matchup is going to keep going in Corki's advantage. And it's going to be all on IG to really take advantage of the mid-game power spike of Corki that EP struggled to last game.
I mean, even just in the lane, we talk a reasonable amount about AD and their items and how the early lanes can play it, especially with Sivir and a BF Sword. How do you think just Trinity Force versus Mana Moon plays out as an item matchup?
Well, I mean, the big power trough you get is picking up that tier. That's 720 gold on 0 combat stats. So you're going to have to play back. You see the lane positioning here. I mean, the Observer can't even get Kane in the shot just because he's fighting from 1100 range, but Kitties might be caught.
In trouble, good flash, so we'll move out. Drizzle's going to come in. Cacao with a knockup, but Drizzle does get that burst kill. Now teleport coming in for EP as Amazing J wants to make it happen, but he can't quite get it done. Cacao walks away.
Where was this decisive play last game? Wonderful play from Drizzle there. The flash past the EQ combo to pick up the kill was majestic. The teleport also affords them a red steal here. Drizzle's going to need a bit of help. He's going to get away. Engaging on Dragon, probably not, but they're going in.
Going in, Cacao now in trouble as well. True Shot Barrage will also come in. Kid gets out, and there's a kill for Thresh, actually. So Cacao down as well. EP might go for Dragon.
And if this was the first game, you'd say, wow, excellent decisive play, a Dragon into early kills. But they're recreating it all right here and doing it even better. 3 kills on the map. Everyone from IG is scared to go near that Dragon. And look, we thought it was big last game, but a massive lead for EP here.
Yeah, and you may be picking up where they left off 3 minutes into game 1 here. Energy Pacemaker looking much more decisive here in this game. There's their first Dragon of the game. at a bit more of the standard 9 minutes now, 9.5 minutes as well. And IG will find themselves for the first time in this series actually behind.
But whenever a teleport's used, you have to kind of take stock of what they're trading for here. And we look up the top lane. Irelia, 20 CS now is the advantage. Going to get closer and closer to that Trinity Force. Don't believe she has it here yet. Going to pick up the Phage to complement the Sheen. It's going to be a bit of a struggle for Amazing J to stay relevant in this lane. Of course, Maokai does have ranged wave clear. We might see some support coming from Drizzle, who's already made his impact on the lanes. He might be able to relieve some pressure here just to let Amazing J farm up happily and get that Rod of Ages at a good time. Although with that Ruby Crystal, maybe he'll be going down a different path.
Maybe, as we do have Kane and Shu return to their lane now as well. Manamuni has been completed there for Kane Zelzio, so he's mostly happy. Trinity Force on the way for Kid as well. He's got Phage plus Sheen, just like Aurelia, and we do talk about it a bit, but as far as mid-game power spikes go, especially with these two compositions facing off against each other, that double Trinity Force power spike when Aurelia and Corki pick that up, it's going to mean a very scary team fight potential for IG.
It's the triple Sheen pastry time, because of course the Lich Bane is being completed on Fizz here. The amount of burst damage is going to be explosive from Invictus Gaming, and that's something they can hang their hats off at. They have pretty good CS here. They will hit that power spike maybe 1 or 2 minutes late because of the little skirmishing and fighting they've been doing. But if they can take advantage of that, which is what EP struggled to do so much later, we already said in the late game there's going to be damage issues for EP. They need to continue. Look at Lee Sin here. He's playing a lot like we might expect Loveling, being really aggressive in IG's jungle. And anyone who can claim that they've done that to Kakao is doing something right.
Yeah, it really is here as Drizzle's continuing to stay aggressively in this jungle, possibly looking for a dive onto Rookie's Fizz as well. He's got Playable Trickster plus his flash and his ult up, so I don't think they want to commit too hard to this dive. But they have the options. If they want to go in, they can. Even Shu's coming up as well.
If EP's done one thing this series, it's surprised us space time. But Kakao, he's coming in.
Kakao does want to come through. Great fish show. It's a Raphael, though. And there's the flash of Kakao that will follow him there with the flag and drag. But here's the rest of the members coming in. Now Kid will come in and pop Raphael dead now. Drizzle also low. Tries to smite Rookie, but can't get the kill. Shu now in trouble as Pokemon's come through there to stun him up with Equilibrium Strike. Flag and drag will knock him in. A good play, but it cannot keep him alive. And Kid going to clean it out. 3-0 IG.
And with all that, in just a moment there, everything is undone from EP. Kane wasn't able to track his lane there. He had to stay in the bottom lane to push it out. Of course, we mentioned that no AoE wave clear, so just slowly pushing out the bottom lane. Meanwhile, a wonderful rotation from Invictus Gaming gets them the kills. And look, we even miss here as an answering kill comes out from Kid. That's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, I mean, the binding hits and the kill happens so quickly. Invictus Gaming's bottom lane going to step things up 4-0 actually now for Kid. If he wasn't scary in the last game on that Trist, he looks terrifying now on Corki.
4 straight kills, being able to push the lane in and have it reset when you come back. The big purchase coming out. We're waiting to see if there's quite enough gold for Lich Bane on Fizz. Might be. No, still got the constituent parts, but we're getting closer and closer to a crazy item power spike coming out from Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, we already talked about the triple Sheen action. Invictus Gaming going to approach that very quickly here. And Kid with that 100% kill participation the right way there for the AD carry with all 4 of the kills as Raphael will clean out a tower there in the mid lane. Actually looks like Blue Buff might be still on the way as well. Rookie there diving back here.
You're doing him into service, Space Jam. That's not 100% kill participation. That's 100% kills. Which for an AD carry, especially against a real, true one-threat comp, scary.
Yeah, and Corki, we talk about it as far as aggressive mid-game AD carries go. He may be the best that sees a lot of play on this particular patch. So Kid now finishing up the Trinity Force and his Sorcerer's Shoes rather quickly. He is a big threat, the biggest, in fact, on an IG team full of scary champions.
And rather quickly, we're talking about 123 CS, so 18 CS above his lane opponent there with his 2 mid-game power spike items. I mean, mid-game, we're usually talking about, what, 18, 20 minutes? This is a mid-game at 13 minutes. It'll be interesting to see if he just goes straight mid and says, let's take some turrets. Nope, he wants top.
Yeah, I think wants to be aggressive here potentially. This Pokemon going to dive back in on Amazing J. Corki and Kakao are going to be joining up top as well. But Amazing J does trigger the fight or flight reflex. He'll be able to get away there.
EP are consistently getting this enemy red buff here, so that's something for them. At least they're one step ahead of their previous performance and being decisive with the advantages they've granted themselves. But whether it will translate into map pressure and map movement is hard to say. We've got so many members in the top lane here. This tree, he thought he was safe in the forest. He thought he was safe in top lane. Yeah, I don't know.
This is an LPL gank that Kid and Kakao goes in Pokemon. An easy cleanup there. We talk about it a bit, but when one member ganks, it's usually got with a couple more behind it.
It's just rude pastry time. You're just having a little tank fight in the top lane. I'm going to just buy my items over here. suddenly 4 members.
Yep, and Righteous Glory was the pickup there for Amazing J. Doesn't feel like he could be as greedy as Pokemon in their first game here and go for that Rod of Ages. Answering turret, though, looks like it's coming out for EP, but IG are onto a tier 2 turret now.
And the scary thing for EP is that the answering turret is going to come down so slowly because they don't have that same DPS here. This Corki with the Trinity Force, he's bursting down this inner turret. Of course, the inner turret has more resistance. It's slower to kill. They pick it up happily, and there's no chance of an answering inner turret for EP.
Yeah, and you talked about mid-game item spikes as well. Corki is almost Rumble-esque in how he finishes such a cost-efficient item build.
He absolutely is. He picks up those items, and he's able to take down structures easily. And take down an inner turret right here. Think about how much dragon control they'll have if they can push those minions up to the inhibitor turret in the top lane for EP.
Well,
they're going to be able to put down those aggressive wards. They might even start to dictate what's happening around red buff as we look over on the minimap here. Even the red buff is going to be contested soon. EP going to struggle to get a dragon.
Oh, dragon is back up here, and Invictus Gaming want to fight. Rookie has his Lich Bane done as well. So there's just so much power here. Energy Pacemaker have started this dragon. It's getting quite low, but they have to be careful. Even if they get it, they might just die. Ezreal's going to pick it up, but Drizzle gets fished there. Now Kid going to come in, look for the damage. Kid with an aggressive Morgana ultimate, gets kicked out by Lisa. Now Kakao coming to Rookie, diving onto Raphael, gets an easy kill, and Invictus Gaming grouped as 4. Kane trying to run away there. He has to be careful, taking so much damage as he flees, and maybe a Tower Dive going to come through as well.
I mean, you have to be happy if you're an EP fan, though, because they've lost the minimum here. 1 kill for a second dragon is a big advantage for EP. But again, it's not going to translate in the gold score right here. Oh, the snipe was so close. Did he take it?
Yeah, Kane actually sniped his own blue buff, away. So denying that one away from Rookie. Cute little play there.
And the momentary swagger from that. Unfortunately, now he doesn't have the ult for wave clear, and this turret might fall down.
Yeah, Kid's Trinity Force doing work again on this turret. Amazing Day pops his ultimate to try and clear some of that out. The Q there as well from Mark. A good wave clear actually coming out from Energy Pacemaker, and they'll defend that central turret for now, but Invictus Gaming have gone from a light lead to a slightly heavier one now, almost 3,000 gold.
AP moving aggressively here. It's worth knowing this is the Righteous Glory Maokai. It isn't that Rod of Ages Maokai, so he won't have quite the same wave clear coming out from his abilities there. Of course, in a team fight, the health more useful as a defensive resource, but the AP used for wave clear. EP, they're looking aggressive.
Yeah, they're going to try and group up towards this tower, take it very swiftly. There's Pokemon's actually going to dive in there on top of Drizzle. Kitty's now going to run in as well. Pokemon happy to solo everyone. Now 4 members of Energy Pacemaker joining. Kitty's pops his ultimate, it looks like. And that's going to land an out, excuse me. It's Kakao now coming in. Maybe looking for a dive. Does go through. Just dives in. Gets kicked out, though. Forced to flash away as Pokemon is still going in. Gets smited there by EP's jungler. And IG, no fear.
And the lucky thing for EP there is, look, Corki saunters in very late to the fight right there. He is so strong for 17 minutes. Even able to have a bit of life still coming through for those extended fights right there. If Corki was there, it would have been a bloodbath. Again, they keep losing the minimum. And that's the best thing you can say about EP in this situation.
Yeah, I love the bloodthirst that could be coming here for Kid as well. We've already seen that IG have grouped a lot with their Corki, their takeout turrets, and BT helped so much on that front.
I mean, we've actually seen quite a lot of Trinity Force into Last Whisper pickups on these Corki players, which right now I think is not really the way to maximize your damage. If you're against a true tank like Maokai who's super ahead, it's worth considering just so you're able to shred it down. But with the flat armor penetration from his Gatling gun, going for that BF sword item next, probably the right call.
Well, we could see a quick Blade of the Ruined King as well, which is another very popular Chinese Corki build.
I mean, a bit of self-peel never goes awry.
Drizzle now actually getting aggressive. EP going to group up to steal the blue buff now. Looks like they'll get that successfully going on to, I think Lulu got it, and did. Raphael going to be the beneficiary of that one as Kid continues to CS now. And IG just moving forward. They really want this turret.
A lot of turret damage coming out from Kid, but not enough to finish it up. He doesn't have perfect vision on the enemy jungle. He sees no blue wards on the red side jungle, so they have to back away and fight another day.
Quick Valkyrie there as well as Fizz walking towards that bottom lane. We'll try and clear out some of that CS for himself and maybe get that push going. Kakao is back at full health as well after being in his jungle, building up towards what looks like an early Aegis of the Legion.
It was interesting to see Maokai walk towards top, then notice there was a very large wave push. There is a slow push coming up in the top lane here, so not going to go farm out that big wave. They're going to look for a fight.
Yeah. Fizz does push in the bottom as well, and IG will group back up, it seems like. Baron up in 30 seconds, probably not going to be looked at the 20-minute mark, but will be an available objective very soon here, and Kid getting aggressive. IG basically have this mid-turret whenever they want to group for it, but EP, to their credit, are doing a very good job defending it.
And they have to react to this top lane push here. So we see Aurelia has gone top to take down that big wave. They get the inner turret here. Black Shield so useful there to overextend and get some damage in. But Shu doesn't look like he wants to stop.
Yeah, teleport actually coming in for Pokemon. Shu in trouble now. Pokemon gonna dive in onto that Thresh. There's the first kills. Aurelia exhausted, still managed to pick that one up. Now Drizzle gonna find Rookie, kicks him out immediately, but that might have put it closer to the team. Amazing J gets fished up there as well, knocked up there by Chum the Waters. This Cacao follows in with his CC and gets a kill there for Rookie. Jarvan Low does pop the heal. Oh, for a good snipe there from the Lulu. Actually takes out Cacao. Now Ezreal in a whole host of trouble as Pokemon's going to dive in. But that's a little too deep. There's a next kill for Kane and an even trade at 2-2.
Yeah, the even trades continue, though you have to give it to IG just because they have that late scaling damage right there. A little bit of over-aggression coming out from IG. They're just pushing when they don't need to. They were able to importantly DPS down a super tanky Maokai, but not itemizing for magic resist. So, of course, Rookie wrecking him in the mid lane.
And what looked great early on as that fight started for Invictus Gaming goes decently for EP. They'll be happy to take a trade here with a slight deficit, but IG going to continue their light gold lead. Again, about 2,000-3,000 gold, 4-3 in turrets with a couple of kills up as well. And Dragon is back up in a minute.
We're waiting for that Mirror Mana transformation to really have Blue Ezreal start to get going in the mid lane here. He has the Iceborne Gauntlet already. Can't be too far away from having enough charges for that Iceborne Gauntlet. Probably around 20 of that Mirror Mana. Probably about 24, 25 minutes. That means his poke will really start to hurt. But, I mean, it's usually the third big damage item that we see from Blue Ezreal to see a real damage spike come out from him.
Yeah, Invictus Gaming doing a nice job sweeping up Vision here as well. Want to set up for around this Dragon. They've got great wards on the right-hand side of the map, so should be a pretty easy Dragon for them to at least begin here. But Energy Pacemaker may be looking to group here and contest 5-5. We get our first big team fight.
Yeah, we're still waiting for that first big team fight. Maokai in the top lane, just slowly pushing out, trying to get that big minion push coming in soon to try and harass this Aurelia here. Pokemon doesn't have teleport up, so any sort of wave push will be very important when Dragon comes out in 10 seconds time.
Yep, so IG going to group up here, looking for an opening. Drizzle, good bit of poke out. Kane now with his Ezreal also. Iceborne Gauntlet running, able to poke fairly aggressively towards his Dragon as wards will be killed back and forth. Good pink ward placement there from IG as well. And Maokai not want to rotate yet. He still has that tele up.
He has the teleport advantage. He's pushing it, which is exactly what EP should do. It's good for them to be understanding their points of power in their comp in this second game and trying to take advantage of them.
Yep, so red minions will crash into the top side turret there for IG. Dragon is alive now if Invictus Gaming want to start, and they have taken the Scuttle Crab, so they'll get it going here. But Amazing J maybe just going to start things off immediately. True Drop Raj comes in. He's teleporting in as well. The Dragon a little too low, but we're going to have a fight here. Oh, Drizzle! He stole it with the smite, and EP walk away.
Yeah, they're going to try and get out here, but IG are not going to let them go easy.
Amazing J gets knocked up. He's in trouble there. The box, though, trying to keep everyone else alive. The Fish takes him out, but he's quite tanky, able to take that one. Drizzle, though, not so lucky. His kid's going to get that kill.
Drizzle made an excellent steal right there, but he did not need to go back into the fight. His kill is basically a free kill for IG. It doesn't make up for the structure steal. And EP will take it, but Pokemon's in trouble.
Grabbed up there Raphael with a free kill himself as Rookie looking to get poked off now. An EP, a man advantage basically. Actually, it's 4v4 still, but Cacao quite low. That gives Energy Pacemaker enough time to now push themselves towards this tier 2 turret. Big blue wave in the bottom lane, but Energy Pacemaker with the advantage.
It just amuses me how even this game is. Of course, there was a big red wave in the top lane, big blue wave from Fizz pushing out in the bottom lane here. EP are getting a lot of damage on this inner turret. Will they be able to take it down? Yep. That's two neutrals. The big dragon pickup and the inner turret pickup. EP are coming out ahead, if ever so slightly.
Yeah, and that lead's still at about 2,000 gold, but that was a very important third dragon from Energy Pacemaker that Drizzle managed to steal out from under Invictus Gaming. So IG have just not quite played as cohesive as they did with their big late game comp here, struggling to find the picks around these fights, and a costly mistake there from Cacao. Gets a little too greedy with no smiter, maybe.
One thing we've observed, especially in the OMG versus LGD game, is that even if you don't necessarily have any advantages, you can win with 5 dragons.
Yeah, Cacao actually could be in trouble. Does get hooked up there by Shu. Cacao forced to flash away, but goes down to Kane there. Now True Drop Barrage will go a bit wide there, following in for a couple of minions. Never mind, just hits the side of the map.
Very solid camera work there. As we see EP, they're trying to push aggressively here. They're trying and take this Baron Vision and maybe even contest this blue buff.
Yeah, Righteous Glory was popped there to try and chase down another kill there. Drizzle will tap the blue buff with his Q and go in looking to give that one over to Raphael. Kitties has to be careful. Shoes there as well. That's an amazing flay through the wall. Going to try and win out the Black Shield. Can't do it enough, though, and Kitties gets away.
Yeah, I'm sure he half considered going in on that Q there, but smartly backed away. They got the neutral here once again, and that's been the consistent thing. Even in their losing effort in the first game, Drizzle's been securing those objectives and securing them very well, even with minimal resources. They haven't always had fantastic advanced vision, but they've really been down on the timers. They've really been trying to convert their little advantages in this second game into a win. And coming back to that OMG versus LGD game, OMG finished that game literally because of the 5th dragon.
Oh, good Trump the waters. They're coming for Fizz, but Shu's going to be okay. Gets bound up there, but my god, Raphael though in trouble. Maybe forced to pop the ult. Will flash instead. Actually already ulted, so I couldn't use that. And IG with a creative pick there from Rookie looked to get aggressive in the blue side of the map.
So perhaps that's the win condition we didn't discuss when we were looking at these teams here. 5 dragons makes any team do a hell of a lot of damage and really be able to power down those structures if you can add a Baron to it. So there's a lot of potential here. If they can keep this objective control on point, maybe some more heroic steals coming out of Drizzle, Kakao going to have to rein in his smite usage because it's starting to add up.
Yeah, I like the other thing I like as well is that Raphael's build is amazing. Jay actually, never mind. Forced to pop his ult, going to go back in. Kid's like, I don't want that at all. And he'll Valkyrie out himself. What I wanted to chat about is the Sheen here for Lulu. This is basically the biggest damage build she can get. Once she hits what I assume is a Lich Bane, she's kind of capped.
It's basically going to be Lich Bane into maybe a Void Staff into just pure AP for that, that scaling on her ultimate and some of the utility scaling she'll have with her MS. The one thing you can say here is going to be a turbo Maokai for sure, just because with that Whimsy scaling off 10% of AP, Maokai's going to be able to get into those fights with Righteous Glory especially. He's going to be able to choose the target and lock it down.
And that's, I think, what a lot of EP's success in these last fights have been. Heroic deals aside there from Drizzle, just having a very straightforward way to engage and having a big tank line pretty much for anyone here with the Lulu ultimate. EP have looked decent in these fights, and IG, they haven't found the flanks or the picks. They do a lot of damage when they lock down a target, but haven't been able to do that quite yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of Sivir flavor in their comp, just because if it was Sivir Maokai, you'd say, yep, now Maokai can choose his target and get on top of him with the massive on the hunt movement speed increase. Same sort of story here. Amazing J, he's very, very tanky. The Righteous Glory only amplifies that. He's got the Frozen Heart here just for a bit more area effect, attack speed slow to really take damage away from that Aurelia, who's, of course, scales on attack speed, mostly for a true damage here. EP are making very smart decisions both in their item builds and in their movements here. The big thing for IG is where they can start to get some of these dragons going. Because if they can get the dragons equaled up, maybe take down a Baron, this game will change considerably.
Yeah, only just realized that Invictus Gaming have 0 total dragons in this particular game, which is not usually the way the dragon control goes for this team. Corki as well, maybe recognizing this Maokai has picked up a last whisper before finishing that Blade of the Ruin King. And Kane here does get trapped, but has to be careful. Knocked up there by Kakao. Kane's flushed up, but that's a good Lancer coming out from True. Now Raphael going to kite them out, and IG, no answer.
I mean, kiting them out. This is blue Ezreal, Pacedam. You hit one of those Qs, and the kiting continues. We used to say that blue Ezreal, back when we casted many a moon ago, was almost a hyper carry in terms of mobility, just because such a low cooldown on that E ability. So much AoE slow and disengage. Getting on top of an Ezreal with a Lulu on his team is just... it's no fun.
I mean, that third dragon is valued for its movement speed. Such an elusive stat in League of Legends. And Blue Ezreal might not pump out all the damage, but if he never dies, he's scaling almost infinitely on the damage charts.
And it almost negates the fact that he's not going to pick up the 5% move speed from the Zeal, right? He has access to that move speed, even going for this different build. So it's not just the fact that his E is going to be on such a short cooldown. He's going to be able to move around the map quickly. He's got that flat movement speed as well.
Yeah, and Dragons coming up again. Invictus Gaming would love to secure their first one, but have been denied so far just from movement by EP or Drizzle's really clutch smiting. And Energy Pacemaker, they look confident now moving into this next Dragon fight. Oh, kiddies, you got to be careful. Does get popped there by Drizzle. Tons of damage being dealt out. The True Top Rod's just missing acutely, though. And Raphael in trouble. They're getting dove on by Pokemon, as that's going to be the first kill. And Amazing J trying to zone them out. Kids getting aggressive onto Drizzle, but Pokemon now is taking too much damage. Kakao will dive in. Rookie will dive back in as well. But Kane, he's kiting. He does go down to Corki, crucially, though. And Amazing J is forced to flash away. Does get hooked there with Pokemon, but they should be able to chase, so get the next kill there as well. And IG with a 3-for-1 team fight.
Yeah, it looked really good for EP there just because of how much damage Amazing J was tanking in the mid, how much He was able to hold and space control there, but they were able to get on top of Kane. He fell down, and that's when the teamfight all fell apart for EP.
Yeah, Raphael not in a position as well to really get in the spot to use his abilities or do the damage. And we talk about it in the draft. Energy Pacemaker do not have that much damage in this team comp, and it really showed there.
Absolutely. They need to get the damage from their sources when they can. And Raphael actually died with his ultimate available there, which just goes to show he's probably looking to ult someone other than himself. Fell away, and that's a one-team fight for IG. If the snowball of objectives starts for IG here, I fear for the EP team comp.
Yeah, and Kid, maybe a bit more pep in his step. Does have a BF sword, actually, so could still be going for the early BT.
He's got exactly the gold for it in 5 gold, so it's probably going to be the pickup right here.
Corky going to go back. We'll see just how good Papa's knowledge of the item prices is.
Of course, he has built already into the bilge water, so not quite the goal.
No, not yet. Here's Pokemon will come through. Hook there does come in for threat. Kick over the wall. Actually, Kane now going to chase in this. Some good slows. Drizzle will chase over as well with a safeguard. An amazing J is there in time. The Black Shield lasting just long enough there in Aurelia. So hard to lock down. A good defensive fish there by Rookie, and everyone else will get away safely.
I'll try to take down the blue buff here just to have one objective. It's the Baron that's really the big question mark here. They've managed to get some very good aggressive wards down on the IG side. But IG, look at this row of pinks they have around Dragon. They're not interested in suffering any more dragons being stolen away.
Yeah, we complimented them on their pink ward coverage around objectives in Game 1, continuing it here towards the bottom side of the map, but we do have to consider just how important Baron will be as well. And this is the part of the game where it does start getting looked at by more teams, and we have very interesting choices to make. Which side of the map do you choose to defend? Because you cannot pink everything.
No, you can't pink everything. It's interesting to see that they've mostly committed to the Dragon side, although we see things moving around here. We see the movement starting to be moved. They're realizing here that if the Baron is taken by EP, the amount of wave clear and poke they have around those structures is massive, as we see. A hair's breadth away was Kane from once again reclaiming that blue buff.
Good patience there from Rookie. Secures himself the enemy blue buff. Pokemon also teleported to make sure they secured that. So quite a few resources dedicated to picking up that blue, and EP going to walk over to Baron. That seems like it's the objective they want to go for.
I guess it's the side wave management that will be very important here. No teleports available means these split push minions, the 6th man pressure will be massive on both sides. And whoever can cultivate those lanes the best will have a massive advantage for at least the next, 3-4 minutes of the game?
Yeah, amazing J down the bottom does push out that wave himself. The rest of Energy Pacemaker grouped around the center area of the map, clearing vision out from the Baron. They pick up the Scuttle Crab as well, and they'll just kind of continue back here and try and win the vision war around the left side of the map. And it's interesting, Papa, we're almost splitting vision here. IG seem to want the bottom, and EP really want the top.
Yeah, it's interesting that IG have got some very aggressive wards down around the blue side jungle. They haven't been able to get the Baron vision they want, which of course is the red side jungle of EP. Some very nice defensive wards down for IG around there as well, but they want to try and advance that vision into the EP side of things if they want to try and take this Baron.
Yeah, good ward there from Maokai, getting nice and aggressive towards the back of that blue buff. Kid did run defense on that pink wall, but EP eventually cleaned it out, and they've got plenty of coverage here towards this Baron if they want to start it, but they think they'll have to bait a fight in now for Invictus Gaming. Pokemon as well going to clear out wards, and as the map breaks open more and more, vision becomes so integral.
You will say, though, Pastry Town, it's going to be a slow Baron coming out from EP here. They can't really look to steal it. They must bait it like this, and it'll be interesting to see whether IG put that together.
Oh, Kitty's misses his flash there, does pop his ultimate, but no zonies, and Kane gets that kill. Kokka gets hooked there as well by Shu, and now has to use the flag and drag to get away. Drizzle will chase in the back. Pokemon's actually in trouble. They're getting flayed back as well, eating so much damage here from Energy Pacemaker, and that's 2 clean kills there. Oh, never mind. One answer back there for IG, but that's a win for EP.
Yeah, Drizzle's aggressive moves have got them so much traction so far in this game, but him falling here, it relieves what small Baron pressure there already was.
Yeah, and they're going to look to take towers now, I think, with their jungler down. So moving towards the top side of the map, we'll look to take the tier 2 there in the top lane. Maokai throws a sapling out, clears out the last of the wave, and they'll go in here. Amazing J actually going to start to face tank, and they'll take a free turret.
Absolutely, they'll take this turret. Even if they get objectives slowly, even if the minions aren't in their way, they do have a very tanky Maokai to tank those turrets up.
And an interesting choice by EP. I mean, it might be more coincidence than design here, but they seem comfortable playing this into the late game, despite, again, maybe damage being an issue.
I mean, it's those objectives, especially. It's what's kind of turned League of Legends on its head, is that the 5th dragon, if you're able to pick it up, gives you so many stats and multiplies what you already have so strong that you can even take a 1 or 2 threat comp and be very relevant. But you're just really leaning hard on being able to win a jungle matchup against Kakao. That's not something I would expect many teams would, try and throw the gambit down to try and do that. But EP, so far at least, Kakal's been very well held here.
And I'm impressed with just the difference in play here from Energy Pacemaker from Game 1 to Game 2. Again, starting Game 1 with a great plan and just never really following through. Kind of did the opposite here. Didn't do much for 10 minutes, and then I'm just exploded with objectives and aggression everywhere. Oh, God, Kakao, though, does pick up Drizzle. And that's not good news for Energy Pacemaker's objective control.
They did not have any defensive wards whatsoever around Baron. The face checks happened, and deleted was Drizzle. And Drizzle giveth and Drizzle taketh away.
Yeah, and IG, I kind of swapped all the vision over to the top side of the map around this Baron, and they're kind of recognizing that, all right, Energy Pacemaker, you want to fight for Baron? We will fight you for Baron, and Shu will get locked up. And Kid goes immediately with the Black Shield on top, and Rookie blows him up. They're good Johnnies as well. It's amazing. Day tries to lock down Fizz. He's forced to flash out, throws the Q back to slow him down. Kane will use the two-shot barrage, but IG pick up a free pick. In fact, 2 free picks with Drizzle down as well.
And both teams went for the same move. They both tried to bait that Baron. Look, it might be even the repeat bait here.
Amazing Jay now the next target. Rookie chunks him out with a Q. Good knock up there from Lulu, and the extra health might keep him alive. But Kid flashing forward so aggressively, actually takes a lot of damage, gets the Mikhail zone. There's pick after pick. IG going to go on Baron.
Having the confidence of both the Mikhail's Crucible and the Black Shield coming through. Is it going to be a third bait?
They're going to try it again. I don't know. I don't know how many times EP can let this happen to them. Drizzle though will get aggressed on, slowed down by Kakao. Smite. Kid is running through as well. Kane actually in a decent position to poke them out. Kakao got to be a little careful. He's low on health. Heal pop there. Kakao goes in, uses the last of his mana for Cataclysm. And some very creative things happening, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, if at first it doesn't succeed, it feels like they went for the same thing 3 times. It actually worked for both teams, but the difference is if IG hits a binding, the amount of damage they have to follow that up is incredible. And EP, look, they're going to sneak this 4th dragon here. The game's suddenly on a timer for Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, IG maybe spent a little too much time getting cute around the Baron pick because they lose a 4th straight dragon in this game for nothing there. Kakao got chunked out around the Baron bait. Couldn't really get involved to try and smite it away. Energy Pacemaker doing what I might call the reverse IG from last weekend. 0-4 on dragons.
And that's the kind of the big question mark people place about IG is what to expect with them going forward. We're starting to see some of the communication issues creep in when they're behind. It doesn't feel like Kakao's had the effect on this game we've expected. And definitely the objective control 1 week to the next, it's night and day.
Yep, Shu actually in trouble though, does get blown up by Kid. Good duck binding there from Kiddy's lands, and that's going to make 5v4 around the pit again.
So now I expect the baiting to stop and the Baron to start. IG, they're considering it, but Aurelius backing. They don't have the right timing or wards down to do it, but you have to think IG are going to answer all this objective pressure with continuing with their pick pressure and picking up a Baron.
Pokemon does have teleport, so he can join it if he really wants to, and Invictus Gaming certainly have Baron damage at this point of the game. 37 minutes in, Pokemon will use his teleport and Energy Pacemaker. Drizzle, if you can get this deal, boy oh boy will you be impressive. Baron very low, they're getting taken out so quickly. Kane will run in, Drizzle looks for it, but Kakao smites it this time.
For once, Kakao has Smite available, and the reason why they hit the go button there is they saw Drizzle was farming at the inner turret in the top lane. That's the cardinal sin. There's no Baron vision, and the Smite farming happily in vision there meant that, hey, let's rush down this Baron. They've got so much Baron DPS. You would not see the reverse scenario there just because so little Baron DPS coming down from EP, but they take it very fast. And now they're going to try and push and maybe try and pick up an inhibitor so they can start to have full map vision when it comes to controlling this dragon.
Yeah, and a big lead now for Invictus Gaming. It's opened up to 7,000 gold, just quietly actually. Here for Invictus Gaming, going to pressure in this tier 2 as well. Fizz down the bottom will try and split push out there as well. Invictus Gaming going to knock down turrets with this Baron, you have to think.
Yeah, that Siege minion is doing so much damage from range there by IG. They're doing their rotation. They're going to take out all the outer turrets here. Should be a last outer turret coming down for IG. And then, are they going to look for the dive? We'll have to see.
I mean, we've seen aggression already. Kid feels very safe going in on this Corki with all the protection he has, particularly from Morgana. So, wouldn't be too surprised to see a dive coming through. But for now, Invictus Gaming will back off, spend the gold they just gotten from taking all those turrets out and look to close out this game.
They have a very, very tanky Jarvan coming out here. For all the amount that he's been held, the Warmog's armor is completed here. They can... Jarvan, if he goes in first, which we expect, and tanks the tower, aggro can tank the turret for so long. The Zhonya's is available on Fizz. Irelia always does teamfight relevant damage with that true damage. And it's Kid. Kid is so consistent this season. 8-0-8 after that 9-kill game previously. He's looking strong.
Yeah, 4 damage items plus a Spectre's Cull as well. So he's ready to go. And everyone from Invictus Gaming's powered up nicely here. Still got the Baron pressure if they want it. In fact, Pokemon's in the top lane. Going to start that split pressure. Oh my god, those poor minions.
The concern for the minions will just continue based through time. There's so much damage being built up on IG. They're pushing into mid here. Teleport's not available, so probably not going to be the dive just yet.
Pokemon actually walking over as well. Wants to help his team look for this potential dive in the mid inhibitor turret. And Kid is just chunking out the damage. Even if he gets up to the tower and is able to get a couple of Trinity Force hits on with the Black Shield, he will take it out very swiftly.
It's all on Raphael to clear the waves here, of course. Ezreal could use his ultimate, only has that up every 60 seconds or so. So it's a risky thing to do. They're just trying to keep this Siege minion alive. It's doing so much damage. And hilariously, they're body blocking here to get guaranteed damage on this turret.
It's not even just that. Kiddies has a banner of command in his inventory that he's popped. This is the deadliest Baroned up cannon minion.
The banner of command. And they have no answer. They can't get any damage on this, of course. They need to get physical damage. It's magic resistant here. And this is IG. This is the IG we remember from seasons past.
What can you do? Ezreal has most of your physical damage, and he's got skill shot poke.
You can fight, or you can lose your turret.
This cannon minion. Okay, Drizzle did hit it with the skill shot. That actually helps, but it's going to take out the turret.
It's completely magic damage resistant to it. Iceborne Gauntlet Ezreal.
Well, I guess that's one way to counter Blue Ezreal. Invictus Gaming get creative and take out the mid inhibitor. Finally, the little minion that could will go down. But we thought we saw creativity from Energy Pacemaker in the first game. That was gorgeous by IG.
Never to be outdone as IG. That's one thing you can say. And they're going for another inhibitor here. This one they can clear out, but EP are going to be feeling pretty sheepish right about now.
That was brilliant here, and IG will back off. They don't really care. They just got an inhibitor for basically free, and they'll back up and spend some gold. Dragon coming up soon as well, and that will be the second for IG if they want it.
And this could be a different type of tutorial victory coming out from IG, just because, I mean, once that banner of command, it's back up right now. They can set this all up again. And, I mean, EP don't feel confident about fighting. They don't have that 5th dragon down or anything to be able to throw a spanner into the works. I'd say at 50 seconds, if they can take down the dragon, sure they can have a chance, because you can go all in and try and pick a fight with all the buffs that you get from that. But if you don't, if they're able to equalize here, I mean, IG have an interesting strategy, and I don't see any answer for it from EP.
Well, Baron will wear off eventually as well. It might be close here for Invictus Gaming, so I'm not sure how the Super Cannon minion, unfortunately, does need some help from Baron as well. And IG, yeah, the Baron has one off, it looks like. So have to wait again, but that Dragon's coming up. You've got plenty of control over this map now as well. They can kind of win at their leisure almost at this point.
It's still going to be a very important cannon minion when it's promoted, but you're right. All the buffs on that cannon minion, just ridiculous, able to damage from, what, about 1,500, 2,000 units away.
Super Caitlyn Siege minion there as Drizzle finds Kid. And that Dragon heavily defended now by Invictus Gaming. This will be a hard contest for EP.
Cacao obviously popped an elixir here as he's massive on the map. It dwarfs everyone else on the map here. And yep, they're going to try and take this dragon down, get the exact timing for it, and ensure EP never gets close to that 5th dragon.
Yeah, just get shredded there. And that's the thing with late game dragons. They're very important, but they die so quickly.
And we see some pings around the Baron here, trying to get a bit of Baron control and ensure that they do not see a repeat performance in about 3 minutes' time.
That minion was real deadly, and Invictus Gaming going to continue their aggressive ward pressure here. Push up the bottom lane now as well and try and crack another inhibitor turret. And again, a different sort of tutorial victory, but a victory nonetheless for IG. And a 2-0 it would be as well, unless EP can hold him. To be fair, with Dragon down it might be a bit harder, but they do have chances in this game.
And we see the promoted minions already come through. Not quite the same effect, of course, with Baron not being there. There's a large minion wave pushing in the top wave here for EP, so that will at least slow down any sort of total map press that we're going to see out of IG. But this is an interesting game.
I mean, can I just credit Invictus Gaming for creativity? We've heard about it, we've seen the interaction, it's adorable, but I never thought a team would actually do it. And Invictus Gaming, the nice thing about it, it actually solves a lot of their siege issues.
Well, the one thing I'll say is, who's been the real purveyor of bringing in these new strategies? It's almost always been Zatai. It's been attributed to Zatai. He's been the one with the off-meta picks. He's been the shot caller of the team. IG have tried so many things over the years. Some come off, some don't. Some are very amusing. And this one's actually proved to be clinical, and that's with Zatai sitting on the bench.
Yeah, the spirit of Zatai is still strong, though, with Invictus Gaming and Energy Pacemaker desperately want to defend against this Baron, but they are in a big hole in terms of gold lead here. 9k up or so for Invictus Gaming as the blue buff goes over to Rookie, I believe, although Corki will be a perfectly fine target for that as well. Energy Pacemaker are going to fight here, but they have to be so careful.
I mean, if you pick a fight with no Void Staff completed on Lulu to, you know, complement her already fairly low damage. It's only Ezreal. It's only Ezreal doing true damage here. They're very tanky, but IG have so many damage sources, that doesn't even matter.
Yeah, Thornmail up for Pokemon's Aurelia will make that even trickier as Kakao will clear out the pink wards. He's very tanky with the Warmogs. Doesn't quite want to clear out that pink ward. It's a little too dangerous.
I mean, the poke over the wall is considerable from EP.
There's the Baron.
He's wearing his Santa hat.
Still festive. Someone didn't tell him to take the decorations down. It's now January.
Yeah.
And Invictus Gaming stay grouped around the Baron. It's up. And Pacemaker, if they want to fight, kind of have to go now.
They have their side waves in excellent areas here, so they are free to contest this Baron. I wouldn't be surprised to see IG start that split push. They've got teleport up on Aurelia. It's up to them if they want to arrest these pushes in the side lane, or maybe just try to DPS down the Baron.
Yeah, Fizz was clearing out waves as well, so Invictus Gaming trying to get some of that side wave control back. We're going to force Energy Pacemaker sort of back here, and I guess the thing is, they don't actually need to do any more, you know, Banner of Command Baron stuff. They already have the entity to the base. They just need a kind of a way in here. A couple of picks or even a Baron would help them close this game out.
The Baron buff is the big boon that they need to either prompt the dive or go for the shenanigans once again.
Well, we'll see what happens here as Invictus Gaming looking to heavily contest this objective. Dragons off the map as well. Invictus Gaming will start it. Drizzle is ready to go. Kakao also has his smite this time. We've managed to check it. And they're going to go in. Drizzle will look for the steal. Rookie actually going to go in. The Drop Rush comes through, but Corky will take it out. And now Drizzle gets eaten alive by that damage. And oh my god, Ezreal gets eaten by Kids Corky as well. Kakao will dive through, walks through the box, tries to get some more damage in as Rookie will also run in. Raphael a little too far away. The Rookie getting poked out does get away, but Invictus Gaming with the Baron.
Yeah, the damage dealer's gone, Ezreal's dead, and they're going to push in for the victory here, you'd have to think.
Yeah, well, they've got plenty of time to do it. 40 seconds left. Inhib will get retaken now as well. Invictus Gaming only, oh my god.
There's that minion.
Such a beast here.
Usually we see the zoom-ins for the pentakills, but this minion's going to do all the work.
This minion, I mean, he is possibly the hardest working member of Invictus Gaming. He's been infused with the spirit of Zatai. He's sitting there in the cannon.
The hyper carry minion.
You know what? They didn't have a late game carry. They picked a minion instead here. Kitty's doing a good job supporting with that Banner of Command, and IG going to look to close out this game. Amazing J, quite tanky, will tank up Kakao, but he's with that Warmog, tanking up the turrets from the next as well. Gets away as Kid, takes out Raphael. Now there's the binding coming through for Shu, and Invictus Gaming going to take it out 2-0, and what a way to finish.
What an exciting game, and it turned on just an item choice right there. That Banner of Command changed the game because they had no answer. They lost their middle turret, and whatever they could do, they realized they couldn't fight. They're like, oh, we'll poke this away. Nope.
I mean, I said it, it's one way to handle Blue Ezreal, who, as you mentioned, is very magic damage focused. I think still, after all that, that was fantastic to watch, by the way. Still, after all that, so much control there from Invictus Gaming to get them that game. They had a massive lead towards the end of that game. Again, they just sort of needed to solve their siege problems, and solve them they did.
It's worth noting, though, that EP made them work in that second game, and they scared them, obviously, in the first game with their early dragon. It's nice to see EP show something in both games today, after a very average performance in the first week. They'll take some things away right there, and Drizzle, man, Drizzle did some massive work. He was able to snipe away those dragons. He was able to get some really good invading timings on the enemy red buff, but he also gave away a few kills. But you have to think there's some potential there to work with.
And it might just be a matter of the new lineup. If Energy Pacemaker continue playing with these subs, needs just to get a little bit more experience together, a little bit more time, build back that synergy. And the thing about the LPL format in particular is that even the bottom teams, and that's a team like Energy Pacemaker that has some success but never really breaks through, they still influence the top of the standings if they take games off, because a best of two means that if you only take one game, you only get 1 point.
All these LSBL promotion teams get 44 games to try and refine their strategy. We're only 5 in, and I think we're going to go to a replay here just to see another exciting part of the game. So EP, they're around their blue buff here. This is, of course, going to be a dragon situation here. Drizzle hits a Q, he holds on to it here, but he goes in because he realizes they can get a pick.
Yeah, and this kind of things where Kitty takes a little damage, but they actually kind of finish the kill there. The rest of the damage comes through, and look at the dive there from IG.
Absolutely, and Amazing J, he's doing a lot of zone control. He is very, very tanky, but they're just ignoring him. And look at, this is the big critical factor. Rookie gets into the backline, they assassinate this Ezreal, and suddenly after all that hard work, the team comp kind of falls apart. They're able to travel forward, get some kills. They arrested the Dragon Snowball that they have really been punishing IG with, and from there, they just promoted a minion and won.
That was awesome as well with the Manner of Command. I have to definitely credit Kid, though, as well. his team allowed him to play so aggressively on that Corki. The Morgana pick was a stroke of genius in that comp, and every time Kid got near anyone with his short-range Corki, exploded them, doing so much damage, and staying consistent as well.
And that's both games, Space Jam. He did wonderfully well on the hyper carry, just transitioned over to that mid-game Corki, and kind of showed Kane what he was capable of in the first game there. Really used both champions, their absolute maximums, and maybe he's now able to walk out of the shadow of some of the stronger AD carries in the league and show people that, hey, I know I've always been up there, but maybe I need to be considered